Okay guys, we're back to experimenting. Here we are with this little panel going into this little 4.8 watt pump. This time I've got some 1/4 inch tubing, and I just said instead of going out up that U water scale type trap, let's just go straight out and raw brute force it right up this green tubing. So I've got one in there and I've got one here. This is 100 feet of green and 50 more feet of brown. So I think it's just about going to reach the IBC tote back here, but we're coming all along this side fence here, the west fence, kind of going up the yard. And I've been able to already test it down here, watering these. I can stick the end right in one of these bins, and all these bins I can water just with that little 4.8 watt pump, just brute forcing it. No U-trap, nothing goofy up the house, as in part 1 and 2, as I showed you. See all this extra brown tubing I got? And look at it, it's on this choke cherry. It's dripping away. So we're at least a good 7-8 feet. The problem is, I'm going to try to raise it up even higher. Okay, I put it up on the fence here. Let's give it a few minutes. Remember that IBC tote way up there? Oh my gosh, that's still another good 7 or 8 feet at least. Problem is I just can't seem to get the lift I need on these little pumps. I would love to use them. Straight off there. But you see, it's just not quite cutting, and I'll come back in a few minutes and check this. No go guys, it's just a little too high. I bring it down to the level of this choke cherry, about right here, and we start getting it again, so. There it is, see? So that's about the head height I can get. It's a shame. I wish I could get it all the way up to that IBC tote, but those little pumps just don't have the lift. The Hmax is just not quite there. So close, but no cigar. So just a little stronger pump with a little higher Hmax, and I think we might not have to do all that nonsense with the U-trap. And we might be able to just run it along the ground through one of these little pumps. I mean, that's beautiful. It's beautiful. I could easily water part of the fence here. I think I could even hit this raspberry. Yeah, I'm sure it would still make it. Once you get off the ground though, here's another one. You're getting close to the limit, but it still works. It's just when I lift it up a little higher, I get in trouble. So yeah, I just connected these with that famous tubing here that we've been using in the first several episodes. It really works. I can't believe I can just splice them together so easy and there's no leakage. But that clear tubing is nice and flexible. It did pretty well. Next time I'd buy a little longer one of these. I wish I would have bought 150 or 200 feet of that instead of just 100 feet, but let's go back and see if any luck up here. I feel there's water in the tube. It feels heavy. Not real heavy, but you know, I can just feel a little difference. But when I get up here, it's just a little too far. Oh, wait a second. Oh, look at that. We're getting just a tiny bit up here. Okay, guys, crazy. It's in full sun right now. That little 5 watt panel in is going like banshees up here, but I'm probably overdriving it a tad, but as I go higher, I start to lose the head pressure. And remember, I'm getting close, but I need to get that drip all the way in, and look how slow that's going now. Okay, that is with that 5 watt panel. That's probably about as high as I can get. Can you see that? Bring it down and it starts pouring like crazy again, so it's a shame. We're so close. Again, so close yet so far. Now, granted, the pump is in that little green-blue bucket down there, so it's at the very bottom of the of where the IBC tote would be, or even lower, because IBC tote is on a pallet. So I have a feeling it might work if I put it actually in the IBC tote itself. I'll be able to gain that extra 3 feet elevation to get it up here. Should we try it? Okay, guys, I'm over here. I'm still using that little pump, but this time instead of the bucket, I'm going to put it up here in the IBC tote. It's kind of cheating because what are these IBC totes? About 5 feet. Look at this. I got on a pallet and a couple bricks down there, so definitely the pump now is higher in a sense than it is here on the ground in the bucket. So maybe that's just enough lift. I mean, I might be able to get half that tank emptied. I don't know if the panel is aimed perfectly in the sun, but we're going to try that and see what we can do. So we've got this tube coming all the way down now again, all the way back to the other IBC tote. If it works, I guess we could try the stronger 10 watt panel. If it just barely works, that is. Or we could, like I said, go with the bigger pump idea that has just a little more lift and certitude that it's going to work. The only bad thing is these pumps are $5, so if I burn one out, I guess I can live with it. I just hate to burn out more expensive pumps. even if it's only double the price still. That's why I've ordered some buck converters that are real cheap. I have no idea if that'll work. Okay guys, it's working. I hear it dripping in, listen. Let's see what kind of flow rate we got. I mean, that's so much easier than putting it on the side of the house and making the U-trap. I mean, if I could go with this, that would be, that'd be sweet. Hold on, let's take a look. Oops, here we are. Okay, well this is what you're getting, that kind of flow. So there we go, that's the kind of flow rate we're getting. If it did that all day, I could live with that. That's not bad. It's funny, it's right at the limit of the Hmax. Look at if I go up a little. That's still doing okay. I think we probably have at least 3 feet there. Okay guys, I decided to take this green tubing and put it into the 10 watt pump. I think I feel more power now. Here's that 10 watt panel. The 5 watt panel was doing it, but just intermittently. Had to have it just perfectly lined up. This thing does feel kind of juiced. I'll come back and do a check on the voltage in this direction. It's not totally perpendicular to the sun, so it's vibrating. It does have the ability to give a little bit more amperage to that pump, so let's see if we've gotten any luck here. I'll just walk up to the other IBC tote and we'll find out. Boy, I tell you, I think I got my 10,000 steps in this afternoon, walking up and down this hill. It's working. I hear it. Look at that. Not bad, huh? So it just needed a little bigger panel. Of course, we are pretty much in the hot part of the day, the overhead sun. I don't know if that'll last all day, but gosh, what do you think, guys? Should I put it along the fence and leave it and just go with that? Or should I pull out the bigger pump and try it? I gotta try the bigger pump. I ordered a little bit bigger pump, about an $8 or $9 pump. One of those Prime Day special things, so it's actually one of those pumps they use in ships. Bilge pumps, I believe. So I've got a extension cord going around. I'm a little afraid to put it right in the panel. Probably ridiculous. I should just do it. But they say it takes 2 amps to drive that thing, which is quite a bit more than these pumps, which say they're rated for 0.35 to 0.4 amps. So I'm not sure I need it. If this were to trickle all day like this, or you know, it might match my irrigation, my drip irrigation needs from this upper tank. If I could just feed that in all day like that. I just don't want to burn out the pump down there. Let's go do a voltage and amp check on it. I'm getting 17 amps. I'm sorry, I'm getting 17 volts at that angle. I want to see if I can get that closer to 14. Let me put it on the fence and see if it still works. Okay, close. Let's see if that changes the voltage just a little bit with the new overhead sun. I mean, it's certainly not hitting it perpendicular. Guys, I mean, we're still at 16.5, so a little bit. If I went totally perpendicular, maybe 16, right? So if I can live with 16 volts on that poor pump, it is spinning pretty fast. I feel it. The suction on my finger is quite a bit less. Let's go see if that's enough to drive that poor little pump up top. I'm concerned though, when the sun goes around, they'll only give you 3 or 4 hours of this in the day. When it goes around, we might lose that. That's one reason why people like to get buck converters and a bigger panel, which we might have to go to. Yep, she's still running. I mean, are we going to be happy with that? That's the 16 volts. I think we'll probably could live with that. Just keeps on trickling away. Well, at least we know we got a winner. I'm kind of hesitant to put all this tubing around the fence all nice and neat behind the bins, unless I'm sure I'm going to go with it. But that is a nice little discovery. Maybe a future project will be to learn how to hook up batteries to these things so we have a constant supply at night. Haven't got that far yet, but that's possibly a future project. It's just fun to play around, guys. At least we got one working. And I don't think the pump's overheating. I mean, I'm up here feeling it. It feels nice and cool. Of course, it's in the water. I'm gonna have to lower it down a little more. I've got another thing though. I think I'm gonna take this apart, but before I take that apart, I want to try this new supersonic pump I just got. I'm just kidding. Let me show it to you guys. So this was and I just got this in the mail. This is quite a bit bigger. It's a 12 volt, 20 watt pump. Remember that panel there is only putting out 10, so I did order a 25 watt panel. That's coming. And the amp, it says it won't run until it hits 2 amps. So This was about $9, I believe. And I just thought, oh, it's a step up from these little pumps that I've been using. But what I plan on doing with this, though, is hooking it into the bigger tubing. That before I go there, I'm going to try to do the U trick. You know, the U. Whoops, the water scale type setup directly. See if I can push it all the way up there. I bet it'll work.